Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Perfect Blue, and this movie is directed by Satoshi Kon, if I pronounced that correctly, the same director as Paprika, a movie that I really enjoyed, and Perfect Blue, this movie came out in 1997, and I really enjoyed this movie. I think I like it better than Paprika, but I would need to see Paprika again. And what I really got out of this movie was like the story, the characters, the animation, like all that stuff was great and compelling to me. Even though it is a kind of reminiscent of other movies I've seen, it still felt like its own thing, and it did enough things that I would call original or things that made it stand out as unique to the point where it can justify its existence, and it didn't feel distracting because of other things that existed beforehand. And one thing that really stood out to me in this film was the editing. I know I don't often say that, but in this movie, I'm actually saying it as a positive in the sense that it was noticeable that really helped with the storytelling and got you inside the head of our main character, Mima. And I found Mima to be a really interesting character. She really carries the movie for me. And I'm not going to say what movies this film reminded me of because I kind of feel as though that kind of spoils the experience of this movie. But I will say that there were a couple similarities to Paprika, for sure. That I'm fine with because it's the same director. And it just feels like his style and what he's bringing to the storytelling and the overall film as a whole. And I do like the music in this movie. I think that it adds a lot in this film. It's memorable. It's effective when it's used. The film also has surprises sprinkled throughout the film that I never saw coming. It kind of starts off very simple, but as the film progresses, it kind of turns into something a bit more dark and disturbing. And there's some interesting themes that go along with that. And I really liked where the story went by the end of it. There are parts that are a little confusing, but it does ask you to think about it and really soak everything in. And you can kind of tell just on the cover of the Steelbook that there's going to be violence in this movie. And this movie is not afraid to get disturbing. This movie is not a kid's movie at all. Like, it's not afraid to get disturbing. And it's definitely a film that leaves an impact on me for sure. It's memorable. There's not one bad scene in this movie. There's some elements that don't work about for sure. Like, there's a point where our main character, Mima, is being taught how to use the internet because I guess that's something that's new to Mima, and she's just learning about it through her, I think, friend or manager, casting. I forget exactly what role she plays, but she's just teaching it to her, and she's kind of doing a terrible job at doing so. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, you're supposed to be helping her, but you're not really doing a good job at doing that. And I get it, it's kind of a joke, but still, it kind of stood out as distracting more than anything. It would have worked better for me if it was kind of playing it off for laughs and our main character just didn't get it and everything was being explained clearly, but the fact that it wasn't explained very well at all just stood out to me, and I wish that it was better. And there was one specific reveal in this movie that I was really hoping was not going to happen, but it happened anyways, and it was unsatisfying and just kind of really irritated me because of the direction that it took, and I just couldn't believe what I was being shown. And luckily, the movie does save itself in the third act because of other things that are going on, and one thing that I did not see coming, and I thought it was handled incredibly well, but there are some things that are just dragging it down for me that I wish were improved upon. But going back to positives, I really love how the main character dealt with fame and things going on in her head and not really knowing what's real and what's not real, and that was an interesting struggle that she dealt with, and that was one of the main hooks for me as the movie went along. So overall, I thought Perfect Blue was great, better than Paprika from memory, and I would definitely watch this movie again. It's disturbing at times, it's engaging, there's plenty about it that I really appreciate about it. The animation's great, there's some really memorable scenes sprinkled throughout, and I would definitely watch this again. So check this movie out whenever you get the chance. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Perfect Blue an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Perfect Blue, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for My Neighbor Totoro. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.